Mr. DJ Rose, Verkeezy, and C's. Welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. For sure MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap your seatbelt, go and sell our land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.
No More Black Tears Radio. You know what I'm saying? We back in the building. Another week, another day, another dollar to be made. You know what I'm saying? C's to C's, Verkeezy, man.
What's good, people?
You know what I'm saying? It's been a long week, but it ain't been a long week. It's Wednesday, hump day. We halfway through the year. You know what I'm saying? July 2nd. The Leo's about to pop up. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't all happening in a week, but it's been happening this week. So man, what we talking about?
Yeah, man. So there was a, kind of like almost like a podcast setting, and the man was asking a question and was basically saying the best question to ask on the first date is to ask someone what was some of their biggest flaws in their last relationship and what did they do to hurt the relationship. Steve, what's your thought on that question?
It's actually a great way to really get to know somebody, because it's like a lot of the times people will come into somebody asks them a question, people will come at it what the other person, the ex who they broke up with, or their past, what they did wrong, but nobody does self-reflection and says, well, hey, I cheated in my last relationship. But I've learned and grown, I don't do that anymore. I've grown from that. Or it's like, hey, I wasn't attentive enough. I didn't speak to them the best way, just certain things. So it's like really a good question. Like, it kind of goes along with like, what are your triggers? How's your relationship with your family, your parents, that type of thing. Like once you get past the foo-foo bullshit and you really like actually start talking for real, that's kind of the question you should ask. So I feel like it's a good way to really kind of like, and then based off they ask that question, quick little sidebar, we were talking about this last night, and I was saying how also in the conversation he said red flags. It's a lot of times people, especially now, I'm guilty of it too. One red flag comes out and you're like, you immediately write somebody off. It's like, okay, flag on the play, I'm out. Can't do it. Nope, done. So I mean, it's kind of a good way to get there. That's where what'd you do? You passed. What did you do wrong? How'd you fix it? That type of discussion.
I totally disagree that should be the first question you ask on the first date. Like if you want to ask somebody that on the phone or something like that, or text message, then okay. But on the first date, y'all supposed to be having fun. You know what I'm saying? You should already know some of these things before you spend some money on somebody or go out with somebody in public. You know what I'm saying? Before you waste your time on somebody. Like I think the first date should be like, hey, we met already, because like, how do you go on your first date? You have to. It had to be some kind of talking, period. So.
What if you just meet this person like at a grocery store, y'all exchange information, and then the next time y'all meet is the first day?
Yeah, so I don't think that probably should be the first thing. Like, what's your, what I'm saying, your doggone
Maybe
question? I believe like you could probably, what are your intentions from me? You know what I'm saying, or what do you expect from me, or like, what are you dating for? What are you looking for? Yeah. That sort of thing. I can see that.
I don't lie. I kind of agree with you on that. Maybe not first date, but like, don't wait 6 months into the relationship to
Definitely
be like,
not.
oh, you've been dating for 6 months. You should have already had this discussion. So I mean, I know I'm being in the middle. I'm not picking a side, but I'm kind of in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me pick a side, wait till third, second date. But hey,
so what's the negative part of that?
It's too much. That's a lot of shit. Cause I've been on dates when they done told me their whole life story, and I'm like, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, no, but what's the negative part like of? So I say, so C's, man. What happened with you and your last girlfriend? What could you have done better? Like, what's the negative part of that? That's what I'm asking.
The negative part, you might scare them off.
Yeah, you can push.
You can easily just like,
especially like what you said. See, it's like, oh, I cheated.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this nigga's a cheater. I can't be with you. Or oh, my ex beat my ass. So it's like, damn, Mark.
I mean, cool. You scared them off, man. So maybe that wasn't meant to be there. If they run off from that.
That's
I'm saying they do that in job interviews. Like they always ask at one point in time, what's some flaws about yourself?
That is life, and that's the catch-22. But it's
I've never been asked flaws about myself at a job interview.
Oh nah, man. Every job I ever had, man, they at some point in time would
ask me about my strengths.
What's your weakness?
Yeah.
What my strengths and how can you
improve?
Not improve, but what ideas have you had that brought to a team, stuff like that.
I've always been asked about like a weakness, whatever.
I've had the weakness question. I've also had the what was the difficult time you had at work, and how did you get out of it or deal with it?
Yeah. That was a normal question. But as far as weaknesses, I've never been asked about weaknesses.
Yeah.
On a job interview.
I
mean, how would that be negative though? For someone to want to know that.
Because you can lie.
Yeah, you can lie.
You can lie on all this shit, honestly. But
cool.
I will say this though. That is, we got to find a way to get back to where, I don't know, maybe it's just the people you dating. Some people are like open book. They're like, look. Not
on the first thing, because not on the first date, like especially if you ain't been talking to somebody, like they're not gonna tell you anything.
Some people will though. They like.
Some people will, and they need some.
It's like,
they need some therapy.
But that was kind of
some therapy.
That was kind of the point of what he was saying. I mean, to me personally, I'm on the other side of that. I don't see nothing wrong with that because, we do need to be able to be self-perspective and look at ourselves and be able to admit our own flaws. So, like, if we're talking to someone and you did nothing wrong, it makes it kind of hard for me to be like, I don't know, man. This person might be narcissistic. This person might be too much into themselves. Like, if you can tell me, like, yeah, man, I did this, I should have did this better, but I've learned and I'm grown from it. Like, if that scares someone off, cool. That's not someone you should even be entertaining anyway, because they're not receptive to people making mistakes, because we are human beings. Like, if you tell me, yeah, my last relationship, I cheated on my nigga, because I just felt like he was giving me attention, and I had to learn how to deal with that better. Now I can be like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's bad that you cheated, but I've done things in relationships. I'm just saying, like, I've done things in relationships that I'm not proud of. So the fact that you were telling me this, I can respect that. Because a lot of people are not even brave and bold enough to tell you their flaws and tell you what they did wrong in the situation. They'll just tell you, my last nigga, my last girl, she was always tripping. She was always tripping on my case. But they won't tell you, man, I gave her 2 STDs and I had a baby on her. I'm just being real, Like I've had girls say, yeah, my last nigga, he ain't never want to leave the house. But then you get with her, bitch, you want to go out all the fucking time.
Yeah, but on that same, like, these are things that you should already. I just feel like some of this, like, that kind of thing.
You could know it, but
you should already have discussed before the first date.
But I've had it 2 ways.
Why waste your time for it?
But I've had it 2 ways. That's what I'm asking. Like, I've had women that I took them on the first date after talking to them for 2 weeks. But I've had women that I might have met in college. I had a class with them, had a conversation. Like, well, what you doing on later on tonight? It's 9 in the morning.
Literally,
so we go to dinner or whatever. Mm-hmm. I might meet a woman at a gas station and we start, because I done picked a woman at a gas station before.
So basically, it needs to be a time frame for this, because a first date, if you asking that question on the first date and you just met somebody, it
depends how deep you are too.
Yeah.
Like, I've had first dates with me and the chick. We start talking about black revolution, black power stuff, black infrastructures. And I've had first dates with some women, they get turned off by that kind of conversation because they like to swim in the kiddie pool. They don't want to swim in deep waters. And I always look at like,
that's not that is they probably not be they might not be interested. It might be a white woman.
But they might be, but to me, I always looked at okay, cool. If that turns you off, this is a part of who I am. This is a part of my life. This is how I feel. So it's like we just not clicking. Like I always use the first day as like, let's click. Like I'm gonna be my authentic self, and if you can take that, then we can go farther. But if I can't be my authentic self on this first date, I'm not gonna give you a representation of myself, and then you find out like 2 weeks later, this ain't who I really am. Like I'm gonna try to be as honest as I can be. And I've had women ask me all kind of questions on first dates, and if I was serious about a woman, like if this was a woman that I actually wanted to talk to, I was always 100% honest.
I think I'm usually I'm slower with shit. Like I'm not like boom first date, and it's a time frame. I'll say it varies from person to person, because I've had literally met a chick, took her out 4 days later, and naturally the conversation got that deep because we're sitting there 8 already. We're sitting there for 4 hours, and the conversation just naturally went there rather than somebody just asking, okay, you just ordered the food, appetizers. Oh, what's your triggers? You didn't even ask me, do I have any brothers and sisters? Do I have like, what kind of car do you drive? Where do you work at? None of that shit. You just, what's your triggers?
Now, it should be natural. You shouldn't walk in with a notepad, but like the conversation when I had the chick about the black infrastructure stuff, we was literally at, not Logan's, Outbacks. And we was in an area of the restaurant where it was mostly white people. There was like another black couple, and this was our first time really going out. And they give you like a full loaf of bread. Now, they do have half a loaf of bread.
That's what I was about to ask you. That's the first thing I'm about to ask you.
They give you a full loaf of bread. So we got a half a loaf of bread, and I'm looking around. All the white tables got a full loaf on their table, and the other black table got half a loaf. So I literally turned to the waiter. We had a white dude, and I said, hey, yo, man, why we got half a loaf of bread? He said, I'm sorry, sir. I was like, so do the black people not deserve a full loaf? Because they ain't got a full loaf, but all the white tables got full loaves. So the girl started laughing. He said, I'm so sorry, sir. And then, the manager came, and the manager ended up comping one of our meals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This was a mistake. Everybody deserves a full loaf, sir. We don't see color. And then me and her started having a 30-minute conversation just about like black people. Like that was a natural thing to happen because I did it to be funny, to be honest. But then it just led into that. So it shouldn't be like, no, you got a notepad and check. Like that's kind of awkward.
Yeah. And when I hear that first question, that's like a checklist question. Like, what are your triggers? Like that, you know how women have their
checklist. What are your 5-year goals? What are your intentions for dating?
Now some of that stuff should be later, but
yeah.
If you're having a conversation with a lady and it's just like, damn, she just seems too perfect. She's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's funny, she's laid back, and she's thinking the same thing of you. Like I've had women say to me, like, after talking for 30, 45 minutes on a date, why are you single? Because they just literally would be confused and perplexed by that.
I've never heard that happen.
Now, I've had plenty of women ask me that because they be like, you got a good job, you look good, you smell good, this and that, you're very intelligent, you're very funny. I'm just surprised a bitch ain't scooped you up. And you might have the same ideas if you meet a woman who marks all this stuff. So that, to me, that question can't be natural if it gets to that point during the conversation. But it should be.
Yeah, I think
we sit down at the table.
That's a woman question.
What's your triggers? How many baby daddies you got? How many kids you got?
Yeah, I think that's a woman question. Niggas or dudes don't ask women why they sing because that's a woman question. That's a woman question.
I mean, it's a real thing, but it could be rude. It can come off rude.
It could be rude.
But not as a woman saying it to a man, but as a man saying it to a woman.
Bitch, why you single?
It's like,
yeah, because
dudes don't really care if you're single, because if dudes real dudes don't even care if you're single because real dude he'll take you from the dude that you with.
I care if a bitch single, man.
You don't care because you never know if she is and she ain't.
Niggas following me, calling my phone and all that.
Hey man, I care because I want to know, like, yo, you an A in every category. Like, why don't you have a man?
Yeah.
Like something got to be wrong.
Secretly have a whole husband or something.
Yeah, she probably has a couple of them.
I mean, that's happened before. There's been women that, you think is single and they're not single or whatever. But I don't really see nothing. Like, if we're having a first date and we're having these conversations, like, I think that is something that you could benefit from, y'all asking each other those questions, because there are a lot of people, when you talk to them, they're not really self-reflective. They don't know how to internalize stuff. Like, even in friendships, you may talk to someone like, well, why did you and this person fall out? And there will be people that will make it seem like it's 100% this person's fault.
So you're on the first date and you ask her the question, and then she turns you off. You still paying for the meal, or are y'all going Dutch now? We got to go Dutch.
Depends on how.
What was my intention to pay for the meal when I got there? If it was, then yeah, I'm paying for the meal.
It depends on how bad. Because she put some shit like, hey, I need 5 to-go boxes for this, and then I'm like, nah.
That's true. It depends why did she tell me that?
It's like, why did
if it's just a question, then yeah, I still pay for the meal. But if she was doing stuff like ordering too much food, trying to take food home to people, like in that one story where that bitch tried to take a steak home to her 7-year-old son,
or some off the wall shit.
So, but if everything else is good, and then she's like, okay, I'm about to order some to-go stuff, or she just order a lot of food just to begin with, but she's talking well. Like, how does that make y'all feel?
Now she's gonna be with me. I can't speak for no one else. If you order an excessive food, we're not even gonna get to the point where the conversation is good.
It's a turn on. It's like first date and you going crazy. How I know you just ain't hit me.
Like if you pull up and it's like, yo, can I get some wings? And then can I get some fried calamari? Okay, cool. I'm gonna get a seafood boil, get some crab legs, and a lobster tail in that bitch.
Yeah, that's depending on what restaurant you're at, but that's a lot. But depending on what restaurant you're at.
I'm just like, first date, I'm normally
if you got a seafood restaurant, then I think the fried calamari and the wings, that's appetizer.
Nah, man.
I'm typically
not going. And then they get the seafood boil, so they go get the other stuff. So that's a normal.
Nah, that's not
meal.
Normal. That's not normal for me.
For me, I'm not gonna go real high on the first date. It's like you got first date shit, like real somebody you actually trying to talk to, and they just tricking off. You know what I'm saying? Like tricking off is like, this bitch want rock crab, this bitch want seafood, or she want papados.
Bro, I had a bitch. We were in the Applebee's, so it ain't even gotta be no like nachos. We were in the Applebee's, bro. She didn't know what she wanted. I said we could do 2 for $25. That bitch, she looked at it and said, oh yeah, we should. This bitch persisted to order the ribs and the steak and the side. And the waiter looked at me and I said, hey, bro, can you give us a second? And I was like, bitch, what's wrong with you? And she just looked at me and said, what you mean? I said, now we supposed to share this. Like, nah, man, either we're going to share this or you can just order what you want, off the 2 for $25. But I'm not finna pay for you to have a 2 for $25 now. Like, and that changed the whole dynamic of the night right there.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
It's only $25.
It's like, nah, but it's meant for two. What's it say? 2 people.
That's what she tried to tell me. She tried to tell me that. And to me, at that point, it ain't even about the 25. It's the fact that you trying to play me for a sucker. And bitch, you might like lollipops, but hey, you ain't going to suck on me like that. No.
Not for that price. You can, but not for that price. The price is right.
Yeah, it wasn't even about the price. It was about the principality, dog.
Yeah, because the thing about it is because the price, if you go to another restaurant, her meal will go cost $25.
Exactly. So it wasn't even about the price. It was about the principality of, you think you just finna get over on me, man. Nah, you ain't finna order no whole thing of ribs, then order like a 9-ounce steak. Then both of them come with 2 sides now. And then you gonna get like wings as appetizer? Come on now, bitch. What we doing here? We ain't the clumps.
This shit is gonna sound repetitive, but I mean, the silver lining is, for me, it's sometimes the conversation naturally goes there. If we talk on the phone for 2 weeks every day, eventually the question will come up. Yo, what's your spiritual beliefs? What's your religion? How's your relationship with your parents? What's some of your triggers? What's some of the, what ticks you off? What's some of your passions? What makes you go?
Yeah.
So, I mean, with time, I'm more of a time person. It's like, but I've had relationships or, little situations where immediately we just naturally talk. It's like phone. It's like, yo, we done went from 21 questions on the first conversation with 21 questions. And the next conversation was like, yo, so what's your favorite TV show? Oh, that said something about you. Like, okay, how do you feel about this politically, or how do you what in your past relationships? What's been some of the problems that's come up? So I mean, it's time, the person, and just natural. It's cliche to fucking say, man, but we use this word way too much, but vibe. Sometimes it's the vibe. It's just like, yo, you cool as shit. We mesh well. We talking, and it's hey, I see what you say.
Yeah, I understand that. It's just that the topic says the first question you ask on the first day.
That is not it. Ladies, niggas, don't do that. So let that not be your first fucking question.
So when I'm reading
literally, you took it as the very first question you asked them, because I just took it at on the first date to ask that question. Now, if that's the very first
judgment call,
if that's the very first question you ask,
you fucked up.
Yeah, that's an issue. But I feel like on the first date, I don't have no problem at all with some point of time on the first date.
Getting to that question on the first date, it's probably not an issue. But the first question you ask on the first date,
that should be the first question you ask on the very first date.
Crazy.
It should be casual conversation. It should be like if we in the park, it should just be something casual. If we at a restaurant, it should be something just casual. But while we on the first date, thinking the first date might go an hour and a half to 2 hours, at some point in that conversation, if you was to ask somebody, yo, what's something that you could have did better in your last relationship? I think that is valid. And I think a part of this conversation we ain't touched on, also, where are you at in your life? Because 22-year-old Bertizzi and 33-year-old Bertizzi was in two different places in his life when he was dating. 22-year-old Bertizzi was just trying to have fun and just date pretty women and just, maybe have a girlfriend here and there. 33-year-old Bertizzi, you looking for a woman and you trying to build some shit. So I'm not trying to be going on dates with women and just wasting my time because I'm in a different space in my life. So I think that's another part of it too. If you're 19 or 22, your mindset might be different. But if you're dating between the ages of 30 and 45, I feel like, especially if you're 45, nigga, motherfuckers dying at 50. We could be dead in a couple years. I'm trying to get to the brass tacks. So I definitely don't see nothing wrong with that if you're a more mature person in the dating cycle.
Okay, so the topic was first question on the first date. So what would be your first question on the first date?
Very first date, if this is a woman that I just picked up that day, probably some simple shit like your favorite color or do you got siblings? If this is a woman I've been texting for 2 weeks, it probably would just be something like, I'm a very playful person, so I probably would ask her her music likes and type of movie she likes and some of her favorite actors.
Okay, C's.
I would probably say the same thing, but I mean, we passed the whole what point are we at? We passed the whole how was your day?
Like Vertizi said, he said if you first he said
how was your day?
The first time, not that first time, but you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Same day.
Same day.
And then
how was your day?
A couple of weeks later, what would be something?
Same shit. How was your day? Okay. I was at work and this pissed me off. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully tomorrow's better. So just general, started off just the same way you would pick up the phone, same shit on the day. That's how you started off. Natural conversation.
I like that one too. I'm so far gone in this, but I would probably say my first question would be is what you drinking tonight?
Hey, we on that shit, all right.
What you drinking tonight?
We buying drinks already, man? It's first date.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I haven't been on a first date in so long.
So
I don't know. So what you drinking tonight?
So what's been y'all worst and best first dates before we wrap it up? I already told y'all my worst first date. That bitch who catfished me, man. That shit was crazy, man. So I ain't got to rehash that story. But probably the best one I had, man, I took a chick to the park. We walked around Diamond Lakes for about 2 hours. Then we went to Subway. We sat in Subway. We both this one footlongs was actually $5 a footlong. Yeah, this one footlongs actually cost $5. And we got footlongs and we sat there and we ate or whatever. And then I took her home or whatever. And then she persisted to text me the rest of the night.
Worst? It's a date, but it ain't a date. We went club hopping. Niggas got tore up, drunk as shit. She ran to her ex. Bitch was crying in the bathroom. Her best friend was at the club too. She was in there for like 20 minutes trying to console her and shit. I'm like, she telling him he ain't shit. These niggas ain't shit. You ain't gotta worry about him. He's like, yo, just talk to this new dude, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, don't worry. I got her. She's good. And then like ended up just paid for the taxi to send them home or whatever, her with homegirl. Didn't never text the bitch again after that. Best was probably like she went to a restaurant, walked around the park, and then late night she was like, yo, you still up? Niggas talk to like 3 in the morning, something like that, some chill shit.
What's up? So what was did you say your best one?
Yeah, man. We walked in the park and went to Subway.
Okay, so my best first date would probably be went to a Mexican restaurant. She talking about doing something in the bathroom. Well, we didn't do that, but then took her home, and then she don't be up in the parking lot of our apartment complex.
Rose, I need that Rose.
My worst first date. This she was just trying to do too much, you know what I'm saying? She just order the drink, it's lunchtime, order the drink, order appetizers, lunchtime. Was 30 minutes late, 40 minutes late, knowing I had a schedule. That would probably be my worst one. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting my time.
Yeah, man. A lot of people have had, tears of laughter, tears of joy on these first dates, man. Speaking of tears, TNT, y'all.
Dynamite.
Boom!
So, we normally do weekend sports, but we're not doing weekend sports tonight. Just what's something that caught your eye that happened in sports recently, C's?
Shit. Steelers that trade with the Fins, man. Miami. My homeboy, hey, I'm a Steelers fan. This man is a die-hard Steelers fan. He said, yeah, that's great. We still need a fucking receiver, though. So, on that sentiments, I'm like, shit.
I had a receiver. I traded that nigga.
Yeah. And that's one of them kicking. Hopefully they do something in the next couple of weeks, kicking the ass. And then, man, NBA trades. So I'm just waiting to see what the fuck else happens, and I'm interested. I really want to see. I hope these rookies can get on this summer league and see what they got, and then some of these guys that have been, doing their thing in the regular season. I want to see what they do in the summer league, and then the Knicks, man. The fuck are y'all doing? That's what the fuck are y'all doing, man? That's it.
Yeah, I don't have no tears for what's going on in sports right now. Holler at me when football season start. But I'm glad the Lakers got DeAndre Ayton. They got a bench player, but I think that AR-15 needs to improve tremendously for us to have a chance to go to the championship. It's not about Ayton. It's not about nobody else. It's about AR-15, Austin Reeves. You turned down the money, so now it's time for you to show what and prove that you worth it.
Yeah, for me, man, to touch on what C said about the Steelers-Dolphins trade, it was kind of shocking because I saw Jalen Ramsey traded to the Steelers at first. I didn't know it was for Mick Fitzpatrick. But then, like an hour or two later, it showed the details of the trade, because at first it was just John O. Smith. And I said, okay, cool, they got a decent tight end, but then I saw Mika Fitzpatrick. I was like, what the fuck? And I remember MGH asked me about it. I said, yo, they both is pretty much probably top 5 in the position. Mika Fitzpatrick is probably a top 5 safety. Jalen Ramsey is probably still a top 5 corner in the league. And he was asking me who won the trade, because it seems just a swap. And I said, if I had to be honest, from my perspective, it's more important to have a top 5 corner than it is to have a top 5 safety based off of if your team is lacking in that area. Only because Jalen Ramsey can affect receivers more. So I like the trade for the Steelers in the sense of you're going up against Zay Flowers twice a season. You're going up against Amari Cooper twice a season. And Jerry Jeudy twice a season. And you're going up against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I mean, you do need someone to match up with these guys, and that's good for them. I mean, the Dolphins still, get a decent safety. It's probably going to help them on the back end a little bit, but, Jalen didn't play that well with them. But, hey, man, my Hawks, man, stand up Atlanta, man. Stand up Atlanta. We did decent in the draft, I thought, man, with the pickups we had. There's potential for us to trade for maybe somebody with that first pick we got from the Bucks, man. But I'm just, for us to get Nikhil Alexander, who is a decent player, like he's a pretty good player now, who can play, offense, who can shoot threes, who can kind of score, and plays a little bit of defense. But then for us to get Luke Kennard, a 3-point sniper, someone who's like a 3-point sniper now, that really helped our offense out a lot, and it's going to open up a lot of room for Trey and the other guys on the team, man. So stand up Atlanta, man. Stand up Atlanta. I got tears of joy seeing the Hawks make them moves.
Atlanta Hawks will never do anything until they get a dark skinned player like Dominique Wiskins on their team. As long as they got all the light militant, we're never going to do anything because we're just going to be some pushovers.
So talking about somebody who's not a pushover, man. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs. The verdict came out today. Out of the 5 counts, 2 of them he was found guilty on. Those were the prostitution ones. They don't have no mandatory minimums.
Transportation.
Yeah, the prostitution ones. They don't have no mandatory minimums. And all the other counts from the higher levels of sex trafficking to the racketeering, he was found not guilty on. Man, tears of joy, man. Fuck all you white people that's mad. No, I saw a lot of white people on TikTok and online today saying stuff like he's a monster, that this isn't good for women's rights. Now victims aren't gonna be afraid to come out and speak. Man, based off of the testimony that was given, there was no children like Rose been saying for weeks. People were saying that we was gonna hear testimony about children being touched on and stuff. We never heard that. What we heard was adults getting paid. Let me rephrase this. Adults getting paid. Let me say this one more time. Adults getting paid.
One more time.
Adults getting paid to take drugs and have sex. Like if you watch Vlad TV and it is what it is with Cam and Mace, and the Punisher sat up there and talked about his experience. He said, he normally fuck bitches for $200. Like he'll book the bitch will book him to dance, private dance, $200, and may leave the sex. He normally sell his dick for $200. He said that they was booking him for $800, and then they would give him $1,200 afterwards. This nigga was making 2 bands to fuck Cassie, one of the most beautiful women in the country. Like, come on, bro. I don't want to hear this shit, bro. Y'all got paid good money to do the shit y'all was doing. The secretary, she's saying crazy ass shit. You got paid great money. Because I listened to a couple of people who did security for Diddy, Roger Bonds, and he was talking about the kind of money, like, yeah, these motherfuckers were making like $100,000 a year, and they felt like they was underpaid. Yo, don't nobody say make $100,000 a year. Like, that's motherfucking good money for you just to be a fucking secretary, man. Like, I don't want to hear that shit, man. And then Kid Cudi, I fuck with your music day and night, one of my favorite rap songs of all time. But you a hoe ass nigga talking about Diddy look like a super motherfucking villain and all this other stuff, man. I'm happy Diddy got free. They should have never fucked with him because all these rich niggas pay for pussy. Niggas in the hood pay for pussy. Like, if you a bitch, you know at least 5 niggas that pay for pussy. And 9 out of 10, if you hear this, you done sold your pussy before. Like, this actually set us back because now it ain't safe for niggas that pay for pussy no more, man. So don't be calling no bitch no Uber and shit like that because they trying to get niggas on some shit that every nigga with money do.
I got tears because you wasted so much fucking time and money for this bullshit. It's like if you're gonna get somebody, man, get them. Guarantee you're gonna get them. But I mean, maybe it's a smear campaign. It's literally just like, hey, we're gonna cost you, and in the long run, like, yeah, he can make the money back, but it's you're gonna have people in a business in the industry running from you now. It's like, I can't fuck with you. Your name, you too hot right now. I can't fuck with you. And then it's like he's still gonna have to sit in jail. So it's like bail denied, all this, and then like specifically the trafficking charges.
You think this hurt Diddy's business? You think people ain't gonna fuck with Diddy after this?
Under the table, yes. I'm talking about like on the table. If you see a document that says Sean Combs, we're gonna be like, nope. Sean Combs, nope.
And Diddy gonna be fine.
That's what I'm saying. He'll be fine in the wrong room, but I'm just saying immediately. But also, it's like the when you read the charge, I got to look up specifically what transportation or some shit. I'm just like,
Yes, that means he either paid for Uber to bring a prostitute to him, or he paid for a plane ticket for a prostitute to come to him,
it's like,
or he paid for the prostitute to come walk to him.
and y'all charging him with that? That's what y'all charging him? All this whole trial.
Because prostitution is illegal other than in the state of Nevada, and that's only in a certain city of Nevada.
It's like, what is it, Reno?
I don't even know if
Vegas.
it's a city, but it's
Vegas?
whatever the bunny ranch is at. That's the only place that is legal.
It's either Vegas or Reno.
Nah, it's not Vegas, but it's like
Reno.
it's a few miles outside of Vegas.
It's like Reno or some shit.
But to Rose's point, that's what they got him on. They got him on because he was paying for dick, and I guess in some cases pussy, and he provided the transportation for them to get there because he was paying them niggas, and them niggas was too broke to get their own transportation.
And it's like, but all this, and this is what you got him on. All of this whole trial, the whole drama, Homeland Security, the feds, the state, everybody. This is what's this.
Come on, bro. It was a witch hunt, man. It was a witch hunt to take down one of our most influential, one of our most powerful black men in America. And once he decided to say what he said about DeLeon and Chirac, like ever since then, the video leaked of him and Cassie. The feds had to get involved. Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I told MJ this, man. MJ this. When they went to his house, I don't feel like they was collecting evidence. I felt like they was trying to destroy evidence because we didn't hear about none of the people that was attended the parties. We didn't hear about none. I feel like it was a lot of shit that they didn't even address in court because they just wanted to just fuck with Diddy, man. I just feel like that's what it was.
Because you heard so much stuff when the. I keep saying it, but I don't want to go back to it. But the kids, guns, all stuff. But all we heard was that he beat up Cassie,
Which had no ban on this trial.
and that she felt like she was kidnapped, but she came up in the music industry and in her personal life because she sued him and got paid. The other chick, 50 Cent baby mama, was getting her rent paid $10,000 a month while she's standing on the stand testifying against the man that's paying her rent.
Pointed at nigga. Yeah, that's him.
He paid my rent, and also, he did things to me that I didn't want to do. But now we all know why 50 Cent was so mad at P. Diddy, because when they was going to battle with the leaker battles.
Yeah.
Now we know. 50 Cent, you a hoe. You a hoe, man. Like, you mad because he took your hoe, and then you talking about, P. Diddy, the puffy water. The puffy water was way better than that effing. Effing is trash. I can say it twice. Effing is trash. It tastes like sewer water. Like, Ciroc is way times better. But now, you say that you own yours, Puffy was just a face of his, but that face was way better than yours. And your baby mama was giving him plenty of face and a lot of other dudes' face. He's kissing your son in the mouth, too. So, I don't know what to say, 50. I think you lost this battle. First battle, 50 lost.
Finally lost.
Big bank, take a little bank, man. Talking about bank. So some fourth graders apparently, made a little bit of bank for their teacher. So Brooke Wilson, who was an elementary school teacher, hired two fourth graders to beat up a fellow classmate because she was getting aggravated by a student. Tears or no tears, C's?
I got no tears. I got no tears because she said she pled guilty in that bitch. She said, yeah, I did it. I'd probably do it again. And it's like, I ain't gonna lie, these kids, man, like, it was bad when I was a kid too. But they was cussing at her. She handled it. She was like, hey, here's $5. Go whoop her ass. Go whoop his or her ass, So I'm like, it's because she can't. What can she say? She gonna be like Keenan's character on All in That, where she was like, "You want peas? That's all we got." What's she just gonna be mean to the fucking kids, every other fucking kid, and just be mean to them? So I mean, it's like, hey, she got her get back the quickest way she knew how. She pleaded guilty to the shit. So how can I have tears? She was she ain't had no frown. She ain't like she was about to cry. She ain't look sad. She was like, yeah, I did it. Fuck it. It is what it is. So, a hand clap to you. This is how people got to handle shit now. But they took the money. They did their job.
I got tears, man. Who snitched on her? I don't want to know. Like,
the kids.
Like, was it the kids that you paid?
Yeah.
Man, hey, man, the parents of those kids, man, y'all got to teach y'all kids better than that, man. Like, this bitch paid y'all to do a task. You do the task. And after you do the task, I don't remember doing the task. So when you sitting down with the principal and investigators, I don't know nothing about that, man. I don't know nothing about no $10 she gave me and no ice cream and chocolate milk. I don't know nothing about that. But y'all did beat him up. We got y'all on camera beat him up. Man, that nigga was just talking shit. You talk shit, you get hit. That's exactly what should have happened. So yeah, I got tears for that bitch. Find more loyal fourth graders next time.
Yeah, I ain't got no tears because like you saying they should have been happy with the food. They must have been some fat fourth graders because when the fourth grader get in trouble, like they go tell everything that happened. Oh, this person paid me this because that's why we did this because they want to get in trouble when they go home because they go get their butt whooped when they go home. Like, oh yeah. She played herself trying to think that some fourth graders wasn't gonna tell on her. They gonna tell everything. It don't matter how much food you gave them. They gonna tell everything. I ain't got no tears, man. She's a sloppy hoe.
Hey man, speaking on telling, man. So down in Florida, man, Broward Sheriff Gregory Tony was told by, the officials that he needs to step up his forces to arrest people that ICE is trying to lock up. So illegal immigrants that he needs to make that a major priority. He told them, no, I was elected sheriff to track down criminals. I'm not going on my way to just help ICE lock up illegal immigrants. See, you sent this to the group chat. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I got tears because they're literally trying to come at a sheriff. I mean, he was voted by the county. He's literally doing his job, his actual fucking job. His number one job is to what? Lock up criminals. And he also said, hey, if they happen to be illegal immigrants that have done criminal activity, yeah, I'm gonna fucking lock them up. So it's like,
what about the argument them just being here is illegal? So they already
on the federal fucking level.
Okay.
Is there anything in Florida that says when they start having laws in states, on state level laws that say if you're an illegal immigrant, you will get locked up? Then he's within his purview and his jurisdiction. Now, if you said we want you to take this more seriously and enforce it, cool. But yet you always got to think you're pulling resources out of a county sheriff. This ain't the state police. This ain't the metro department. Blah blah blah. We're gonna collaborate. It's like, no. Hey, Florida Senator DeSantis said, hey, fucker, all you guys are going to sign this document. You're going to help out ICE. No. The people voted him in. If you want him out, you're going to have to officially get him out. And you're going to have to answer to the people of that fucking county. Broward County, black-ass county. They do have a lot of immigrants in that area. But at the same time, it's like, man, if you're pulling my fucking resources, then give me some funding. Maybe give me some additional funding or some additional help, and I'll help you out. But if you're pulling from my natural fucking resources, my regular fucking resources, for this bullshit, and it's like, hey man, I'm not gonna knock them for it. I'm like, more people need, more departments need to do this shit. Where you got, matter of fact, if you want to do all that, just hire more fucking ICE agents. Just have more, like, there's always a surge of Border Patrol and CPB agents. Just hire more fucking people.
Yeah, man. Shout out to old dude, man. I'm happy he stood 10 toes down on what he believed, man. I mean, this is just an unfortunate situation of the administration we have in the office of the president, man. You know, this is their priority, and unfortunately, a lot of times when you have stuff that comes down from a federal level, it drips down to the state and the local level at the city level. And so, yeah, I mean, we've been seeing these protests go on for the last, couple weeks, and we've been hearing about, this is a major priority for this administration. So, of course, they're going to use a lot of the state and city officials to try to carry this stuff out. But, I feel like he did the right thing. We need to focus on the actual criminals that's actually harming people on a day in and day out basis. The people that's breaking into people's houses, the people that out here is committing SA, the people that's out here assaulting people, the people out here that's breaking in people's houses and, stealing people's cars and stuff like that. Those should be the, what people should be really focused on. And side note, hey, man, that nigga rocking Augusta, stop trying to pull all these cars over, man. Focus on the niggas that's killing people in the city, man. Stop pulling over everyone. Stop having all these cops on the streets, stopping random cars. Let us do what the fuck we doing, what we've been doing for the last 20-something years in the city of Augusta, Georgia, man. Focus on the niggas killing people, man. We keep on seeing motherfuckers get murdered. Y'all, they trying to turn Augusta into Chirac. You need to be trying to stop that, nigga. Stop trying to pull over these niggas because you think they driving without their license or they got some grams in the car. That's what you need to stop. Y'all talking about the meth bus and all this other stuff. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of that shit, man. Stop the real criminals.
Yeah, I don't have any cheers for the situation either because, hey man, that's life, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. You got signed up for a job. You got elected for a job. Either you go do what they tell you to do, what Master tell you to do, or you're not. And then but the thing about it is, the people elected you though, so it's not that he can just fire you. That's an elected position. So
Facts.
he can't fire you.
That's why he got the ability to stand up and say he don't want to do it.
Yeah, he can't fire you. So is the people with you or the people ain't with you? If you're doing your job good, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. I ain't got no tears for him.
So moving on to the last TNT of the night, Miss Akbar was saying how she's afraid of raising this new child that she's about to have because she wasn't around because she was in the streets for her other kids that she didn't help raise. This brought up a bigger conversation when you was talking to me, C's, that was actually bigger than her. It's a lot of people who have had kids at one point in time in their life, did not raise them properly and was not there for them on a day-to-day basis. And now they're at a different stage of their life and they are going to have kids again. And now, should they be warranted this second chance to right some of the wrongs they made the first time, C's?
Of course. As long as you acknowledge the mistakes you made and you have those proper conversations with your kids, it's like, hey, I don't want it to breed any animosity amongst my kids. Like, it's just, yeah, I fucked up. I'm willing to be an adult and say, I fucked up. And like grand scheme, like your life, like I wasn't there for you. Give me grace so I can raise your other sibling. And it's like maybe a little humility to say, hey, I seen how you weren't there for me, Mom. I see how you weren't there for me, Dad. I want my other sibling to, have someone in their life so they ain't, let's just say you are effed up. They're not going through the same things I'm going through. So naturally, somebody has that leeway to say, hey, I'm trying to do it right now. I can't make up for lost time, but what I can do is admit I was wrong and move forward, and maybe we can have a relationship. You know, as an adult, you're an adult now, or you're a teenager. Maybe I can make amends that way. And you know, even if that kid says, you know, fuck that, or you know, you weren't there for me, raise this kid. So I mean, as long as you're willing to admit it and give out your flaws, it's like, yeah, you maybe did it a little too late, but you did it. So you're willing to admit, hey, I fucked up. I'm willing to move forward. I'm trying to do right by the next one.
I feel what you're saying, C's, and I'm gonna let Rose give his thoughts because he's the only parent at this table. Yeah, that's some old bull junk to me. That's some bullshit to me, dog. Because this ain't a fucking video game where it's like I fucked up these missions. Now on the third try, I finally beat the mission. Yo, man, you need to decide if you're gonna be a parent or not when you first decide to start having kids, bro. You cannot be using kid 1 and 2.
But they fuck it up though.
No, you can't be using thing 1 and thing 2. This ain't a Dr. Seuss book as an experiment and be like, but I nailed thing 3 though. Dude, bro, what about the trauma that thing 1 and thing 2 had? There's too many situations, especially in the black community, where we have age gaps, which Rose is the only person at this table that has an age gap with his sibling. Where there's age gaps in these siblings, and you hear stories of the mom and dad you got, I didn't get that mom and dad. Like, they went to all your little league games. They was understanding. They got you a car when you was in high school or when you graduated high school. I didn't get none of that shit. I got roaches in my cereal in the projects. I got shot at. Like, come on, bro. Nah, man. Fuck that bitch, man. I got tears because there's too many situations like this where motherfuckers think it's okay to have kids 10, 15 years later, and now I'm going to try to do it right this time. No, you should try to do it right the first time. And I'm not saying that you're not going to fail, but there's no there's no book on this parenting shit. But you should be trying your best every time you have kids.
Yeah, I think that there's no book on this parenting stuff. It's 20 years long gone because there's plenty of books on parenting now. Plenty of books on parenting now, and also there's Google, there's Amazon, there's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. There's a lot of things that you can learn how to parent or ask somebody how to parent your child. So there's no book on parenting. We can't use that excuse anymore. That excuse is dead. It's been dead for 15 years. There is a book on parenting. There's plenty of books on parenting. But as far as Akbar concerned, yeah, she effed up. She was a bum. She was a addict probably. She didn't raise her kids. She threw them off from everybody else. So now you want to have this new baby. So now, are you gonna treat this new baby like you don't have any other kids? Like, what about your other children? So it's like, I don't have a problem with her saying like, I want to do better. I want to something like this or whatever. But you got to show them other kids that too, because if you're doing everything for this new kid, you about to lose all them older ones. You about to lose them because they ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. They gonna look at you a certain type of way because it's like, you didn't raise us, but now you want to raise them. Now that you got this new body, you got money and fame. Oh, so now you want to be a parent. Oh, just don't have no more kids, like, man, like. But I understand where you coming from because you met a dude, he want to have some kids, but dude,
like you said, you got to do the same thing, man. Like, okay, cool, I wasn't there for you when I was younger. I got this paper now. You in college? Yo, let me pay for your tuition or something.
I'm doing a lot for you. Same, you got to show up.
Cause don't just put your new kid in private school and now your other kid, you know they're going to college, and it's like, yo, you ain't helping them like that. Like,
you gotta show
man,
up.
F that, bro. You gotta be a parent to all your kids, man.
Yeah.
And we gotta stop making excuses for some of these parents, cause you out here willingly opening your legs and you willingly nutting them bitches, and then you want to wait till the 5th child to try to do better. Nah, man. These kids is not experiments. These are human beings that you are, and most importantly, these are human beings that you put in society. That when me and Rose go to McDonald's and Burger King, we got to deal with these niggas. When we walking around our neighborhoods to exercise in the morning, we got to deal with these niggas walking up and saying, "What's up, and possibly robbing us. This is what y'all put in society.
Facts.
I don't know what's wrong with some of these hoes.
I don't know what's wrong with this hoe either.
I don't know what's wrong with some of these parents. But what's wrong with these hoes, y'all?
What's wrong with them?
Let's get into it, man. I'm excited for this one.
So there was a stripper online doing what they do best. Talking. Either begging for money or complaining about niggas not giving them money.
Begging for money or not getting enough money.
Yep. So in this situation, she was saying she's not getting enough money because the other strippers, y'all need to stop smashing the clients, she said. She said, y'all over here taking the clients home, going in the back, giving them the pussy, sucking their dick. So then when I'm dancing for them and I'm telling them my prices for lap dances, they're like, yo, I'm used to giving them whoopty-whoop to get the pussy. So what's up? And she said, like, I'm just trying to be out here and make some money.
Get a real job then, hoe.
What's wrong with these hoes?
You in the profession that sells pussy, sells dick, and sells sex. Like, either get with the program or get lost, ho. Ain't nobody trying to hear you or listen to you. Like, when we in Atlanta, or if a dude's in Atlanta and they go to a strip club, as soon as they say, I want to dance, hoes get naked. So if that's what you want to be like, when you go to the party or when you go to the club, if you ain't trying to get naked, then this ain't for you. You need to choose another lifestyle, ho, because this ain't for you. Either get naked or get lost, ho. C's and C's.
Get naked or get lost. The game's changed. You either change with it or you gotta work a little harder. You might have to do. One girl might have to do 5 dances. You might have to do 20. It's just a natural progression of the club. Like, you see where it goes. It's like, hey,
get your regulars up, ho.
You got to get regulars. You got to do this, and this. You don't want to do all they doing. You're just going to have to get more traffic or more people coming in. You might have to do something on the pole, and then right after you get off the pole, come do 3 lap dances. When they doing the 5, you got your stance. You said what you're willing to do. They're willing to do more. So how are you gonna knock their hustle? It's natural.
Stop counting pockets, ho.
It's like you got to focus on. Like most of the dancers I talk to, they focus on their shit. They're like, yeah, that one and that one, they do that. I don't do that. And they're like, cool, and they're cool with it. They're like, I just ain't doing that. This one does it. That one does it. I don't do that. I just do. Hey, you want a 30-minute dance? Cool. But I ain't going back there. And they're cool with it. They know how the game goes. This shit has changed.
Game ain't changed, man. Game ain't changed.
And it's about supply and demand, dog. If you see 2 people selling hot dogs on the street, and one person is willing to give you 2 hot dogs for $5, and another person say, I'm willing to give you 1 hot dog for $5. Even if the hot dog for $5 is a little bit better, you're going to take the better deal. So if you come to me and you give me a lap dance and you tell me for some extra money, yo, I can take you home that night. But then there's another bitch that for that same price to take you home, she's like, yo, that's how much it is to get a dance in the back, and all you get it is a dance from me. Yo, bruh, niggas gonna take the better deal, bruh. It's a competitive business. You trying to get your paper. So, hey, man, either you gonna suck that dick, ride that dick, and be okay with it, or you not. And if that's cool, that's okay. That's okay. Then be okay not making that extra money. Like, that's like you going to a strip party, 2 bitches getting fully naked. You not getting fully naked. So if not all the niggas at the party is throwing money on you, then you need to accept that. And you need to understand, I'm not willing to do what these bitches is doing. That's why these other 2 bitches is getting more money. So cool, continue to dance, continue to twerk or whatever, continue to do whatever it is you do, and get the little paper you get in, and that should be enough for you. Like, I have no problem with a stripper saying, I don't want to compromise my morals, because your morals is your morals. But don't come online and then start saying, y'all bitches is fucking up the game. Man, same thing for you prostitutes, man. Shout out to K. Because I get tired of hearing these hoes talk about, yo, man, y'all bitches is selling y'all pussy too low. Like, I'm out here trying to make money and y'all doing meats for $45 and $50. Stop counting these other hoes' pockets. Like, if she, and you, just because you think she's attractive enough and she should be asking for 200, don't worry about her. She probably saying, you know what? You charging 120, I'm gonna charge 50 because I'm gonna get more clients than you by the end of the night and I'm gonna make more money. This is a competitive business. Whatever you can do to get an edge, guess what you're supposed to do? Get that edge. And in this situation, if you willing to suck some dick to get that paper, you got more than the edge. You got the whole goddamn knife.
Yeah, it's basically because you didn't have to get food out because that's a crime. You ain't had to call an Uber. That was a crime. So if you sucking dick and effing in the back, like Juice Man, like his hoes, hey, ain't no problem with that. Rose ain't about to do that, but Juice Man, he doing that every night.
And then on top of that, guess what? If you're doing that extra shit, guess what's going to happen? When these niggas be like, yo, we trying to book strippers for private parties, the hoes doing more shit is going to get booked. So, like, that's probably another reason why they willing to do that extra shit. Because they probably thinking to themselves, you know what? When these niggas book private parties, they going to hit me up first. Because guess what? Me personally, I'm not booking some of you bougie-ass strippers. And I'm not saying every time I go to the strip club, I'm trying to get pussy. But if it happens, it happens. But I'm not going to be in no situation where it's like, oh, man, I'm going to feel bad because you mad that another bitch is out here actually earning her money. Because she gives me a dance and she whispers in my ear, yo, I'll go home with you tonight. This is all I need. And you telling me, well, man, I need you to spend this much money just for me to go in the back with you. Like, hey, man, stop begging. Like, this is an under-the-hand type of job. Earn your money how you earn it or get a real fucking job. Get a real job where you got to get a W-40, a W-2, and you file your taxes and you happy. Otherwise, be happy with all that tax-free money you getting because at the end of the day, all you're doing is you're paying your tip-off fee. And after that, everything you made is yours.
Most likely you stay in the Section 8 too.
Yeah, most likely you stay in a situation where you ain't paying no real rent or mortgage or nothing like that, man.
Get your tricks up, ho.
One thing about the strip club, they're going to play a lot of rap music, man. Is it going to be good rap music? Not all the time. Sometimes it will. It depends on the DJ. Depends on what club you're in. But they're going to play a lot of rap music. A lot of people, we had a topic earlier, I want to say late last year, about strip club culture, where rap music and the music in general was better in strip clubs. So in the 2000s, from 2000 to 2009, there was a lot of rap albums that came out, a lot of hit rap songs that came out. C's, what year, personally, was the best year for rap from 2000 to 2009?
In your opinion?
Let's be honest. There's not too many years you can pick from. Out of all of them, honestly, that was a great run. From these years, a lot of great albums came out. It was honestly a toss-up, man. I just picked with one, looked up, straight off the dome, came in, and I'm like, this was a good year. And then a lot of these albums, man, like coming back, listening to them now, they still bump. It's a lot of classics. I picked 2008.
Okay.
Lil Wayne, The Carter.
Graduated in college in 2008. Oh, yeah.
So 2008, Lil Wayne, The Carter 3. That's probably, I think we'll all agree that's probably his best album. Another one is Q-Tip, The Renaissance, a underrated rapper and producer. Literally had a lot of great tracks. Nora Jones, got a huge appreciation for her, but Q-Tip's very underrated. And then also, man, the last one, man, is I'm gonna do 4. I was supposed to do 3. I'm gonna do 4.
You're supposed to do 5, ain't it?
Oh, 5? So we gonna go.
If you got 5, but if you only got 4, cool.
I'll do 4. 808 and Heartbreaks, not my favorite Kanye album, but still a great one. There's a lot of hits on there. I feel like this is one where he's really started to go out the box. Like, we're used to like normal Kanye. Shout out to 2005. Common B came out. One of my favorite Kanye produced albums, and also one of my favorite Common albums. But he started going out of the box to where he was like normally known, what he was known for. He kind of started experimenting a little bit more. And like, hey, if you know what an 808 is, any producers or DJs out there, if you know what an 808 is, you know what this album means to the 808 era. That's a great machine, great production tool. And you know, he experimented with it, a lot of good tracks. And the last one, man, hey, shout out to Verteezy, this is one of your favorites. Paper Trail, T.I.
Yeah, very good album, man. Nothing but bangers on that album for the most part.
Yeah, that's one. I think that's my favorite Ti album. That's when I became a Ti fan. Paper Trail. After he snitched and everything else and went to jail and well, he ain't snitched, but he told everything and went out like a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Just like his wife and told everything. But that was one of his best albums to me, man. I love Paper Trail.
Yeah, man. For me, I would go with '06, 2006, my first year of high school. And it was just a great year, man. Before I even get to the top five, man, we had Eminem came back finally with the re-up. You know, that was when he made like his first appearance in the rap game after a couple of years. People thought he had retired. The Game dropped one of my favorite albums by him, Doctor's Advocate. They dropped an album for Tupac's estate called Pockets of Life. That album had a song with Keisha Cole on it that was, I think Player Circle was the song. That song was topping the charts. It actually, the album itself finished started top 3 as its debut. Snoop Dogg dropped Blue Carpet Treatment, which had that song That's That Shit with R. Kelly. Fat Joe dropped Me, Myself, and I, had Make It Rain. That was a hit song. Jim Jones came out with his album, which had, his most classic song, We Fly High. Lil Wayne and Birdman dropped Father Like Son, which everyone knows Stunting Like My Daddy. Juvenile dropped his album, had Rodeo on it. Ice Cube had Laugh Now, Cry Later, which to me is just a good album. Like, Ice Cube hadn't dropped something in a minute. I listened to that album. I was like, yo, this is actually pretty good or whatever. And at that point in time in my life, I only knew him from making movies. That actually made me go back and look at his rap career because he got one of my favorite songs in that album called Why We Thugs. Shauna dropped, her album that had Getting Some. I Was Getting Some Head, which, was a hit song back then. Busta Rhymes dropped The Big Bang, which had the classic Touch It song, which we all know that Touch It remix was just phenomenal. Pharrell dropped In My Mind. It was nominated for a Grammy. It was a vibe. It was kind of different than some of the stuff he did because it was more of a pure rap album than some of the other stuff he had did. It had that hit song, That Girl. DMX dropped The Year of the Dog Again, which had one of my favorite songs by him, Lord, Give Me a Sign. And then Chingy dropped his album, which had Pulling Me Back. And that's not even my top 5. Like, my top 5 albums was, we got Rick Ross, Port of Miami. That's, if it's not my favorite Rick Ross album, it's like my second favorite Rick Ross album. Then we got T.I. King. That's probably my third favorite T.I. album. It would be T.I. vs. T.I.P., then Paper Trail. But this album had to me, the song of the song, if not the song of the year, the song of the summer with What You Know About It. Like, that album was just, and I think it also had Top Back on it, which the remix was just wild. Man, Jeezy hit the scene with the inspiration, man. That the inspiration was just, like, he already had the third motivation, but the inspiration to me was so fire. Like, I enjoyed that album a lot. And then Ludacris, one of my favorite rappers of all time, dropped Release Therapy. And it was just such an easy listening album from start to finish. Like, it had features from rappers like T.I. and rappers like Jeezy. But to me, what I thought was the best album that year was Lupe's Food and Liquor, his debut album. Like, my favorite Lupe album is Food and Liquor 2, but Food and Liquor 1, Lupe kind of did what Kanye did with the Graduation albums. He kind of took us in a world of hip-hop that we wasn't used to, where that song Kick and Push, it was so different than what we was used to hearing in rap. Then he had Paris, Tokyo on that album, which if you ever heard that song Paris, Tokyo, it's just such a vibe. It's so chill. He just had a lot of, smooth melodies on the album where he was just telling his personal stories. He wasn't necessarily telling hood stories, even though he was from Chicago. He was just talking about, like, some of the nuttiest side of rap. And to me, Lupe kind of opened the floodgates for rappers like Kid Cudi and other rappers who might have wanted to tell different stories in hip hop. Yeah, man. 2006, man, my freshman year, man, I feel like that was probably just top to bottom, maybe the best year in hip hop. Because if you wanted gangster shit, you got gangster shit. If you wanted ratchet shit from the hoes, you got that. If you wanted fast rapping, you got that with Busta. If you wanted a whole bunch of collabs, you got a whole bunch of collabs. And if you wanted some conscious rap where you could actually hear real lyricism, you got that too.
Yeah, so my year is close to y'all year, but it's crazy that y'all mention different things like Caesar C's. You mentioned like Carter 3. You felt that was the best Lil Wayne album, the Carter or the Carters or whatever. And for me, it was Carter 2. Carter 2, 2005. It wasn't, to this day, you can play that album and be like, let it ride. To Money on My Mind, to it's just so many it's so many bangers on it. It wasn't radio bangers, but man, that album right there was one of those ones, you know what I'm saying? And also, this is not one of my favorite. This is TM 101, like Jesus. I mean, like Vertizi said, he liked Inspiration. Inspiration was a good one, but between Thug Motivation 101, Thug Motivation 103, but 2005 when man Thug Motivation 101, it had them hits on it. It's like I can't go wrong. My favorite GZ album will probably be Recession.
That was awesome, man.
But TMZ 101, man, so many hits. So many hits. 2005. So also another rapper that's Vertizi's name, The Game, the documentary.
Yeah, that was probably his best album.
Came out 2005. Bangers on there too. And that's when I think that was when he first came out.
It was.
Well, not mainstream, because he had albums before that. But
I mean, he was with G Unit at first, but then I think that was his first solo album.
Yeah, that was his first, so it's like, and he tore up the charts. And people didn't really like his rap style, but that was a good album.
No, Documentary was definitely, in my opinion, a better album, top to bottom. I feel like Doctor's Advocate, it had One Blood, which was like probably the biggest song of his career. I mean, you can say you don't like it. It was probably the biggest song of his career, though, outside of Hate It or Love It. But yeah, Documentary was that was one of the ones.
And it's like he was hitting them different avenues. Like you need a club song, you need a street song.
You need a song where I'm just talking about my dead homies.
Yeah. So also another one that y'all mentioned, Kanye West, Late Registration.
That hurt me, dog. That hurt me, bro. Because like I wanted a year with Kanye so bad because I loved that first trilogy of his albums. I just top to bottom, it was just hard to find a year that compared. But yeah. Kanye West, yeah, you're right. I did look at 05 and I was really thinking to myself, man, bro, that Late Registration was that meant something to me. That meant something to me.
Yeah, I like the one before that one.
College Dropout. Yeah. That whole trilogy meant something to me.
I think I like that one better, but can't go wrong with Late Registration, man. Plenty of hits on there. 2005 was an amazing year. You know what I'm saying? I remember that to the death of me. You know what I'm saying? Also, low key, tight album, has so many different kind of raps on it, different kind of songs on it. The Most Known Unknown, 3 6 Mafia came out with one of their last albums that had all the members on it, but it only showed Juicy J, 3 6 Mafia, Country Black. You know what I'm saying?
DJ Paul.
DJ. What did I say?
You said 3 6 Mafia.
Okay.
You meant DJ Paul. Right?
DJ Paul. You know what I'm saying? So The Most Known Unknown had one. It got one of my favorite songs on there with they had so many features on that one, but one of my with Good Charlotte.
Okay. What
I
was the
can't-
joint with Ball and G, man? I can't. Not. It was another song.
Stay Fly.
It was another song.
Stay Fly was
Did
on
it
that
have
one
another,
too. I
Did it
think
have another feature though?
Stay Fly was on that song. Stay Fly was on this album too.
I'm trying to think. I thought they had another feature.
But Good Charlotte, when they say I can't work 9 to 5, I can't live my life working 9 to 5. That's one of my favorite songs. But it has Stay Fly on there too. Stay Fly, the original song is called Stay High. Then they had the remix, which had everybody from Tennessee on it. Young Buck, 8 Ball MJG, doggone, everybody from Three Six Mafia, man. The Most Known Unknown. That was right after they won the Grammy. You know, not a Grammy, but an Oscar. The first rap group to ever win it.
Award winner.
The first rap group to ever win an Oscar. Man.
I think they the second only rappers to do it though, man. I don't think no other rappers have done it. I think just them Eminem.
So Eminem. So when Eminem won after him?
For the movie 8 Mile, Lose Yourself, because that movie won that song won an Oscar, I want to say.
So what year that came out? That came out before 05?
Yeah, but I think 3 6 was like the first rap group to do it.
Okay. So yeah, that was so.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, one of my favorites from Alabama, Mr. Big, Pop on My Collar, and then Project Pat had a classic. You know, a lot of like references to old shit.
Mm.
So Pop on My Collar was definitely one of my favorite singles.
That was in 05?
Yeah, that was on that album, same album.
So let me ask you a question, C's. You know, normally, you know, when we do a topic like this, we let everyone kind of just state their opinion. If I put you in the corner, explain in like 30 seconds to a minute why you feel like, because you know our years now, why you feel like your year is superior to me and Rose's. And what that year meant to you personally.
It was the cusp of like, I always say this, the year of makes a difference, but it's really the year before that changes the sound. You can hear it. You normally hear it like it's like a wave. You can see the waves start coming, but it really you see the ripple effects in 2009. 2008 is really when it started to change. So it's like any sound going forward from 2008 to edit, wrap up that year. 2009 is where it started, but it really begins that year before. 2008 is really where the sound started to change, and that year just there's no wrong answer to me because I'm like, y'all plead your case. I'm like, yo, 2005 was a hard fucking year to argue, nigga. No lies, no fucking lies. But I really feel like it's that year to 2 years before really where the sound starts to change. 808 and Heartbreaks, the Renaissance, you know, like getting up, like Q-Tip getting up, 808 and Heartbreaks, you really start, the Carter 3, you really start seeing where things are going and they start changing that sound. So I really feel like 2008 is really a great year to highlight where the sound was starting to go after, you know, the end of the 2000s, really.
Yeah, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. Maybe y'all feel differently. I ain't gonna lie. It came down 3 years for me. And it's funny because y'all picked the other 2 years that I was debating between. I thought about 2005 because of late registration. And I don't remember if you said this album, Commons B.
I said it earlier.
You know, Commons B, like that to me, that album meant something to me. You know, and then same thing for you, man. Like the year you chose, I thought about T.I.'s album. I thought about the comment on you touched on. Like, you know, but for me, I just feel like the versatility of that year of rap was so important in 2006 for me, man. And for me personally, I was going from middle school to high school. So it was a different stage in my life. I was transitioning from middle school to high school. I was kind of getting into different stuff. And it allowed me to hear old school rappers like an Ice Cube. But then I heard some of the new school from like a Jeezy and Lupe. Got to hear that new age. I was able to listen to street music, like listen to niggas talk about stories in the hood, listen to niggas talk about stories in the projects. But then I was also able to hear stories like a Lupe where he's talking about like skateboard. I'm playing the 20 Heart game. You know, so he's got a song with Kick and Push. Then I'm hearing T.I. And I'm hearing some of these artist rappers who are making not just songs, they're making anthems. You know, what you know about that was an anthem that summer. Like he dropped the little ATL movie, and that I just remember that movie and that song being synonymous with each other. Like it was just so much stuff going on. And then I had always been an Eminem fan. So for him to come back after people thought he had retired for a little bit, and he came back with 50 Cent and some other rappers like Obi Trice and some other people, and he made this album. And then Busta hadn't really been popping him for a minute. Then he came back, and I'll never forget that BET award ceremony where he did the Touch It remix, and he had Mary J. Blige on stage, and I think people thought DMX was in jail or some shit, and DMX was rapping from a jail cell on the screen, and Eminem showed up, and that was just awesome. It was just the versatility in rap that year was different to me.
Yeah, so for 2005, like you said, the versatility, it's all about, like for me, I always been down south or either East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Pop, you know, we had Pop, but Pop started on the East Coast.
Didn't Pop drop an album that year too?
I know he dropped one my year, but
It was like
but his estate was dropping
Yeah.
albums like every year, so he
But
probably
it wasn't the Pac album. You
Yeah,
know
it was
what I'm
like,
saying?
you know,
So, but
not a real one.
so it was just like when Lil Wayne said, because at that point in time in 2005, Jay-Z was the hottest rapper. So it was like when he came out and said, "I'm the best rapper alive" on his album. "I'm the best rapper alive. I'm the best rapper alive," and it was like, dog, he might be.
He was for a stretch
Bert
now.
Bertizzi.
He might be.
And Bertizzi, this one for you. He was calling him what? The Carter Jr. He was calling himself the Carter Jr.
Yeah, so it was like because he came out, it was like he might be, but and also it's like, and then it came to TMZ 101 and like the motivation, yeah, because Jeezy set the streets on fire because he had BMF behind him because when he dropped the first one. And then when he dropped that second one, it's like that Main Street album, that had the streets on fire. The clubs on fire. Everything on fire. BMF was still out, man. And then we go to the West Coast, to the Game. 50 already set him up for 50 came out 2003. Oh, 50, so everything that 50 touched was gold. So then the Game came out.
It was like the West is back. That's what niggas was saying. It was like the West is back.
The West is back. Then we go to Chicago. Late registration. Kanye already had the Game on lock. Well, pretty much he had plenty of things going on, but then we go to Chicago. And then we end in Memphis, back to the South. They just won Academy Award, the first Academy Award winners, you know what I'm saying? It was just, after the movie Hustle and Flow, man, it was just, black people was on top of the world in 2005. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Black people was on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? And then we worked our way into Obama being president.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I forgot about all. Hey.
We worked our way into that because that wasn't 2005. That was in 2008.
That's what I'm saying. So I forgot that whole aspect of my year. Like,
so 2008 when
I'm trying to think. Did you even mention the recession during your year, C's?
He didn't, but I did.
But you know, back to it, it's the beginning of the recession, and also Obama taking office.
That was a culture movement, right?
And we talking about Jeezy. It's like, hey, my president is black, man. That was what 2009, right? Or was it the same year?
I think recession came out 2008.
2008.
So I mean, hey, that add another notch to my year. So my president is one of the Best theme songs.
Because Obama, when he first got elected, I remember I was just young enough where I couldn't vote for him. So I wasn't able to vote for him the first time. It wasn't until the second time I could vote for him. Because I turned 18 my senior year, so I could have voted for him my senior year, but of course, he wasn't running for election. Last question, y'all, man, and I think this is a quick one. Is it safe to say, because we did a topic where we did our top 5 albums of the 2010s, rap in general, do y'all feel like it was at a better place in the 2000s, from 2000 to 2009, or did the 2010s surpass it?
Oh, hell yeah. It was way better. I hate to say it was a downward spiral. It was, you had a lot of great shit that dropped in the 10s, but it was like going down the slope to where shit was repetitive. When trends set, it was like it didn't matter where you were from. You were from California, Chicago, Atlanta, Texas, New York, you were on the same fucking thing. There was only like, the artists that weren't on the trend weren't blowing up or weren't as big as the people that were doing that. So it's like, I hate to say it, but it's like a downward trend because like shit really was like, people were big, but I feel like if you were big in the 10s, you just made more fucking money, man. You were like, they're playing your shit. It don't matter. They don't give a fuck if you from, where you from. You had a hit, you put somebody on. It's nothing for nobody to have a track featuring somebody from California. You from Atlanta, you got somebody with a track from California or somebody from New York. It was just, the region shit went out the window. It started in the 2000s. More people started collaborating. Slim Thug on a track with Bun B and T.I. Like, you had it, and then you got Too Short doing a track with Lil Jon and E40. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got these different tracks, and then 50 Cent doing a track with The Game from the West Coast, and Kanye doing tracks with 2 Chainz and all this other shit. Like, it started in 2000, but really where the cusp of it is like 2010s. Everybody's collaborating, but now it's like everybody's trying to get a hit, and you see streamings coming, Napster, Rhapsody. Napster was my shit. Then they sold out to Rhapsody. I was streaming shit before niggas was streaming shit. So I've been streaming shit since like since like fucking 2000. Before like 2009, I started streaming shit. That's when the shit used to cost $13 fucking a month. And I downloaded all the fucking songs I wanted to download. I had them shits. But I still had an iPod, and I still had iTunes and all that shit, and I still had mixtapes. So it's like I had albums, physical CDs, I had Napster, and then niggas was still going on like, hey, play a song. All right, we in the house, we in the crib. I'm gonna go up on the computer and look up the hottest track. Oh, turn on MTV Cribs. Like, this is when we used to just come in the spot. Vertiz would be like, hey, turn the TV to 142 on Comcast. MTV Jams. That's what we gonna play. It's the hottest shit out right now. So, yeah. I mean.
Now, you're right, man. I mean, for me, it's hard only because in 2010s, I was in college. I was going to the club. I went to a couple of strip clubs. It was different because, I was at a different point in my life than, middle school and high school. In fact, I started off the decade in the 2000s in elementary school. But if I had to be honest, man, the 2000s probably was better only because I feel like the quality of music top to bottom was better. I feel like the top end music in the 2000s with the big three of Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick was just as high as the top 3. Pick whoever you thought the top 3 of the 2000s were. I feel like those 3 niggas can fuck with anybody in the 2000s. But as far as like, nigga, Mobb Deep was dropping music in the 2000s, man. Wu-Tang Clan was still dropping music in the 2000s, man.
Ghostface.
Like, Ghostface Killer. Like, you had a lot, like Common was dropping music. You still had a lot of old school artists from the 90s that was like, yo, we still here now. We still here. Then you had the newer school artists that was coming and they made an impact in the 2010s, because Drake actually came out in the 2000s, the late 2000s, and Game brought on Kendrick on a song called The City. So I feel like just overall, man, yeah, the 2000s to me, like for hip hop in general, it allowed us to see the most versatility, and there was a realness to some of the rappers, like a Jeezy, like a Gucci Man, like a 2 Chainz / Titty Boy, some of these artists that they wasn't just telling stories, they was telling us stuff that they had done. Cause we had Boosie and stuff like that. Whereas the 2010s, man, I just like that you know, we end up getting drill rap, but that shit is just so stupid. We just didn't really have that reality rap of stuff that was people telling stories about what was going on in the hood, but telling it from a way where it was actually trying to tell us some of the pitfalls too. Because we heard songs from T.I., Jeezy, and Boosie where they said, yeah, man, I was selling kilos a day, man, but I did time in prison though, man. You know, that shit don't always work out good for you, man. So yeah, to me the 2000s was perfect, man. Plus, what to Rose said, if I pass it to him, you had artists who made songs for the time. Like Eminem made a song called Marsh, where he was coming at President Bush and some of his views on the Iraq War. You had Jeezy, who made My President is Black before Obama even got elected, predicting Obama would get elected and saying that this is important for the country. You had artists that were saying stuff that was going on in the world that was actually affecting black people. You know, I don't know if you got that in the 2010s. I don't know if artists made songs in the 2010s that actually affected, that was actually talking about stuff that was affecting us at the time.
Yeah, so I just remember
and the movies part, my bad, Rose. 3 6 Mafia, Eminem, them, there was the first time in movie history, me being a movie buff, where movie through studios was coming to rappers and saying, yo, make us an original song for this movie. So you would watch a movie like Hustle and Flow, you would watch a movie like 8 Mile, and you would hear an original rap song, and that's normal to them. That's normal now. It's normal now, like in Black Panther, what's that song, All the Stars? It's normal now to see a rapper be the one who made not just a song, but some of these rappers make a whole soundtrack for movies. You didn't get that till the 2000s. Yeah. My bad, Rose.
Yeah, so as far as just like the 2 Triple O, that was my high school graduation year. Best year ever for a high school graduation class. 2 Triple O. The only ones I could probably compare to is East 99, 1999, but 2 Triple O, like that year, the best year. So it starts off there. It starts off with East 99, go back to Dr. Dre, Chronic, 1999. He introduced us to the white boy, Eminem. Next year, Eminem comes out, starting off 2000. We got 50. It's like, then we got 3 6 Mafia, finally goes mainstream and start dropping stuff. Lil Wayne comes out, I'm the best rapper alive. Jay-Z, Pac is dead, Biggie's dead.
He takes that crown.
He takes everything over. Doggone. It started coming out with trap music. Who knows who came out with trap music first? But of course we know it was Scarface, and them boys.
I think he came up with the Fix in the 2000s.
And also Eazy-E. So it was like way back in the day, but T.I. named it.
Yeah.
Jeezy took it over.
King of the South.
Gucci Man got way more songs than both of them put together.
And killed Jeezy homeboy.
So it's like Kanye West came out. He was in the background in the 99s. It's like in the 2000s, that's when everything was like really born. And it's like, and then it just passed it on to the Snap and everything else.
I was about to say, right before we got Snap, as corny as it seems now, at the time, let's not forget crunk music. Let us not.
Yeah, we can't forget crunk music, but also it's like Outkast was the first group that came out with a
platinum.
It's the first group that came out with a we teammates.
A dual album.
We coming out with a dual album. This your album, this is my album, but we putting it together. You know what I'm saying? Big Gip came on the album in 2001 when Tip first dropped. Everybody was talking about Tip first album, but Big Gip album was better than Tip's album, if you ask me. In my opinion, it's just that in the 2000s, man.
They made the whole soundtrack for Idlewild Outkast. Shout out to them.
Yeah, so Man, I just want to play in your hair, shawty.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's it right there, man. 3 votes, 2000, man. The 2000s was the best era of rap, man. Any final thoughts, C's, man, for the night?
Shit, it's a lot of good music, man. Go back, take a trek down memory lane and go listen to them songs that you love, man. And hey, this bill just passed. Hey, yo, you making tips? I guess you got the tip. You got the good shit. So hey, shout out to the folks making money off the tips. I guess we'll see how that bill does y'all in a couple of years. We'll see.
And last week I talked about wrestling, man. You know, wrestling fan. Hey, man, this past Monday Night Raw, the New Day lost the tag team titles, man. I want to talk about a bigger issue we have going on in WWE right now. You know, some people are saying, you know, I know Triple H. Some people are calling him Triple K because he's the promoter, he's the booker for a lot of the, you know, stuff that's going on in WWE. Man, you got to do a better job booking the black talent, man. Like the New Day, they turned heel. You didn't do nothing with them. They never defended the tag titles on a pay-per-view, you know, and they lost them on Monday Night Raw to Judgment Day, which we don't know what's going on with them boys. The Street Profits won the tag titles. They had the best match probably this year, to be honest, on a Friday Night SmackDown. You didn't put it on WrestleMania like everyone wanted them to. It was a triple threat TLC match, by the way. And for those who have a history of wrestling, some of the best matches have been TLC tag matches. Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian and them boys. And we didn't get that on pay-per-view. Street Profits still haven't been seen on the pay-per-view. Bianca Belair hasn't been in the main title picture since Vince McMahon had left, and she's one of the best female wrestlers today in any company. We're still trying to see if you're going to pull the trigger on Jade Cargill and Naomi, two other female wrestlers that are at the top of their game. You had Bobby Lashley. He went to AEW to become a bigger star than what he was in WWE. You had Swerve Strickland. You didn't know how to use that man. He became an AEW world champion, you know, last year, and he's one of the biggest stars of that company. And this whole conversation started with him on Black TV saying black wrestlers aren't treated fairly in WWE. Like, yo, the black talent got to be treated better. This ain't like the early 2000s where it was only Booker T and The Rock, where it was just two niggas. We in the era now where if you watch wrestling, half of the talent on the roster is either niggas or Samoans. Niggas need to be given an opportunity to be shown on TV, get on pay-per-views, and you got to put the belt on them. And I know some white people online are saying some of the people ain't ready. A lot of your favorite white wrestlers, they wasn't ready. They still put the belt on them and gave them opportunity to fail. Give some of these guys and women the opportunity to fail or succeed, because for it to be 2025, we should not be having some of the same tropes. And lastly, man, stop some of these tired niggerish gimmicks that you put some of these black wrestlers on. Like you allow the Samoans to act like niggas, to act cool and stuff. Yo, let the niggas act like that. Stop having the niggas act all corny and shit. Let them be able to wear chains, wear grills, come out to rap music and have they swag, man. Like, treat these niggas better.
Yeah, so my final thoughts is the judge of the P. Diddy trial. You want to wait till October to sentence this man when he been locked up for no reason for over a year.
Yeah, since September.
So not over a year, but almost a year.
It's going to be a year by the time they sentence him, so you're right.
So, and the prosecutor's trying to give him 4 years, 5 years. Let that man get his time. Like, let him say what's going on. Like, why wait? Like, he didn't do anything. And all y'all hoes that was down and Diddy, but y'all still begging for money from niggas. Y'all down and Diddy, but y'all hoes still begging for money online. Talking about, hey, can you give me this for my birthday? Can you do this to this? I see y'all hoes. Y'all begging on my homeboys for money. And then you was down to, give Diddy the chair. Y'all don't want to mess with R. Kelly. Man, free R. Kelly, man. Free P. Diddy, man. Sound like I'm from Memphis, man. I am. Making easy money, people hoes is serious, man. Y'all hoes need to stay in y'all place. Get this money and shut up. First easy.
And there was an Airbnb Rakim piece.
Man, y'all catch at the next light, man. We in traffic. And that back quiet. Mr. DJ Rose, Vert Keezy, and C's, welcome you to the No More Black Tears podcast.
Black tears that's heaven sent. Barack the first black president. I love my black skin. I love walking in black excellence. Black power, let's represent. All black, that's evident. For sure, MLK and Malcolm X both didn't die for the hell of it. Strap a seatbelt, go and sell our land. What makes you think that we would sell our land? We wouldn't sell our land. What makes you think that we would go ahead and try to sell out then? No more black tears, black on black kids. Love us as is, love with passion. Paying black bills, learning black skills, making black meals. Black is backing. Big shout out to Fred Hampton. I'm black and proud like I'm James Brown, but I ain't doing no acting. My people here from the motherland. This podcast now active.